What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's talk about Smackdown for June the 16th, 2023. Very solid show. Tremendous. The Bloodline stuff, absolute gold. Tremendous stuff with the Bloodline. It was good. In my Booker T voice, it was good. Absolutely loved it. We will discuss that when we get to it. So we kicked the show off with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa. They pull up in a black SUV. Kayla Braxton attempts to ask for an update on Jey Uso's status within the Bloodline. Roman brushes her off. He keeps on walking. The same with Solo. Kayla then asks Paul Heyman the same thing. Heyman looks around and then walks into the arena. Okay, not a bad way to kick off the show. First match of the night was the number one contenders gauntlet match featuring Pretty Deadly, Gallows and Anderson, the Brawling Brutes, LWO, the Street Profits, and Hit Row. So it came down to the final two teams were the Brawling Brutes and Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly gets the win via the leg drop for the 1, 2, 3. Great stuff here. I absolutely enjoyed the last 5 to 7 minutes of the match. Really good stuff. Right decision was made with Pretty Deadly winning since they are going to be in London. So why not have Yes Boys? Why not have those guys in it? So very good stuff there. I know as of late Sheamus has been complaining, but it sort of kind of is justified. But Sheamus also has to realize that he just needs to be a mid-card champion. He just needs to win the IC title, and I think he'll be fine. He's justified in being frustrated, but I really don't understand why. I mean, the Brawling Brutes are over. They're over still. So I don't know why he's that upset, but it is what it is. But I'm glad that Pretty Deadly won. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're watching the match in the back earlier on. So, the title match is actually going to be taking place June 30th. It's not going to be on Money in the Bank. I don't know why, which is dumb. Like, why would you not have Pretty Deadly at Money in the Bank? Like, it makes sense. So the match is going to be taking place on June 30th. So Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they come out to a good pop. Sami admits that he didn't think they would win, but they overstayed their welcome and needed to leave the ring now. So Wilson and Prince talk some trash while Owens and Zayn look on from the stage. Kevin Owens says he's trying to be more calm these days, but then he has a spaz attack. Sami fires him up, and they rush to the ring, and Pretty Deadly, they dip out. So this is fine here. This is kind of an easy win for KO and Sami Zayn, although you could give us a feud with this, but it probably won't happen, knowing Triple H. I'm all about matches. I'm all about work rate. Moving on. Roman Reigns is backstage with Paul Heyman and Sikoa. Paul asks if he's spoken with Jey Uso. Roman says no, he hasn't. Reigns says he's the tribal chief, so Jey should be reaching out to him. Roman asks if Paul has talked to Jey, but he hasn't. Roman says Roman says he's telling Paul to go talk to Jey now. And so Heyman nervously looks back at Solo, and then he hurries out. So, once again, this is some really good shit that they're doing here. I love this. Moving on. Iyo Sky versus Zelina Vega. Short match. Bayley tried to help out Iyo, but it ended up backfiring. And so Zelina Vega hit the 619 for the 1, 2, 3. And Iyo and Bayley start to argue a little bit. So they're still teasing that damage control breakup, which is fine. But I don't know when they're going to do the turn. Are they going to do it maybe at Money in the Bank? Are they going to do it next week? Who knows? But I would prefer them just to do it at Money in the Bank versus just wasting the turn on a random episode of Smackdown. But that's just me. Moving on. So, Bianca Belair, she walks into Adam Pearce's office now. She asks about a rematch. Adam Pearce gave Bianca his word and said he's working on it. But he can't give her an answer tonight. So Bianca says basically she's being told to relax. He says yes. Bianca says she went about her rematch the right way. So now, right or wrong, she's going to go about it her way. And then Bianca dips out. Moving on. Well, actually, no. I want to stay right there. They might be slowly turning her heel, which would be fine. It would kind of be justified, you know? It kind of would almost be justified. And I think having her alongside heel Street Profits would be tremendous. I think that shit would be great right there. Really good shit if they were to do something like that. I don't know if WWE really wants to take that risk because Bianca does pretty well merch-wise and everything else. So I don't know, but if I was booking the show, I would definitely turn Bianca heel, though. And they very well could be doing that. Don't know. But Triple H really has never really been all that high on Bianca. Bianca's always been more of a Vince girl since she got to the main roster. And Triple H has just put her to the wayside, you know, let her become the longest women's champion, but put her to the wayside, and now he's going to just NXT black and gold it up more, you know, with the EOs and all that, which, you know, I'm a fan of EO, but we might see a Bianca Belair heel turn. Never know. Moving on. So, Iyo and Bayley are arguing backstage. Shotzi shows up and blames Bayley on her missing out in Money in the Bank spot. Shotzi ends up challenging Bayley to put her Money in the Bank spot on the line. Iyo Sky says Bayley accepts. Shotzi says she'll go to Adam Pearce and get the match confirmed. She walks off. I actually thought that they were going to do it this week, but thankfully it's going to be next week. I mean, because they still could have done it last night, but it would have had to have been short. But they still could have done it last night, but at least we're getting it next week. And I guess that's when we get the the actual breakup of Damage Control, which needs to happen. They're not over. Like, this shit is not working. So Bayley asks Sky why she did that, and Sky says she's just trying to help. So again, we'll probably see the heel turn next week. I mean, not the heel turn, my bad, but the implosion of Damage Control. So, we get another episode of the Grayson Waller effect. I still want to see my boy in the ring wrestling. He's not wrestled since he's gotten there. I don't understand why. Grayson's been there for, a month and a half, and he's not wrestled at all? That's weird to me. Let's get this guy moving. Come on. I don't know what the hell Triple H is doing, but I don't like it. Like, get this guy in the ring. Seriously, the guy can go. I could easily see him being IC champion, US champion. So Grayson Waller says, tonight his show goes to new heights with a special guest. Out comes Charlotte Flair. So Grayson Waller is a bit starstruck and says he wants to woo with them. He talks about some of Charlotte Flair's history with Asuka and says this is a different Asuka now. He asked if Charlotte will become a 15-time champion. Charlotte then says 15 or 16, but if we're talking numbers, she has Asuka's number. Charlotte gives Waller permission to woo, and he does. So out comes my girl, Bianca Belair. So Bianca gets into the ring. She gives Charlotte props on her accolades, but she's confused over how Charlotte has a title shot before her rematch. Charlotte says, yes, she did come back and call her shot, but she won't apologize because the line begins and ends with her. Charlotte brings up her own WrestleMania loss to Rhea Ripley, and she's also owed a rematch. So Bianca then accuses Charlotte of running away and hiding for 3 months. Charlotte then responds and says she's tried to do things... Bianca says she tried to do things the right way as she got defeated and she stayed. So maybe she should take things into her own hands now. So Charlotte responds and says she stepped away, but she didn't run away. And she's champion with or without a title. Is Bianca. They have some more words. Bianca says she'll be at ringside on June 30th because she's tired of playing games. She's tired of playing around. So she'll step into the ring with whoever and face off with the winner and call her shot. And then that was the end of the segment. So this is fine here again. So it does seem like Bianca is going to turn heel. Hopefully the match with Charlotte and Asuka, hopefully that turns into a no contest, and they'll probably end up doing a triple threat at Money in the Bank. That's kind of like what I would do. I don't see them changing the title from Asuka to either Bianca or Charlotte on a random episode of Smackdown. I see it as where it'll probably be a triple threat match because you can build it up. And plus, it's going to be in London. Like, why wouldn't you have Charlotte there, Bianca, and Asuka there? Like, why not? Like, it's London. All of them will be massively over. So, that's what they'll probably do. And you guys know I hate multi-person matches, but shit, it is what it is. I mean, that's really what they're going to end up doing because it's predictable. we know good and damn well that Bianca is going to get involved, and it's going to end in a no contest, and then that's when we do the triple threat. I was thinking that they were going to do it at SummerSlam, but they'll probably go ahead and just do it. Do it at Money in the Bank like I predicted last week. And then whoever wins that, which will probably be Asuka. She'll probably end up retaining. And then it'll be Asuka versus Charlotte at SummerSlam, and that's when Charlotte wins. Because I don't see them doing Bianca and Charlotte at SummerSlam. That strikes me more as a WrestleMania type of match. That's probably what they're going to do with it long term. Because I could definitely see Charlotte versus Bianca Belair WrestleMania 40. So that's probably where they're going to go with it from the long-term perspective. Moving on from that. So Paul Heyman, he approaches Jey Uso backstage. So Heyman apologizes for all sorts of recent happenings, including how Jimmy cost Jey the U.S. title last week. Paul Heyman says it was intentional because Jimmy does not miss. Heyman goes on and says Jey doesn't deserve this at all. So he's sorry. Jey says he's sorry too. He is sorry that if he is in the bloodline, then Paul is still out. And then Paul Heyman stares at Jey and then walks off. Okay. More tension between the bloodline. I'm loving this. Loving it. Next, we had a mixed person tag match. Karrion Kross and Scarlett versus AJ Styles and Mia Yim, a.k.a. Michin. Very quick match. This was maybe about, 2 minutes? I swear, it was like 2 minutes. And I think he called Scarlett a bitch in this match, too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he called her a bitch. I'm not going to hold you up. I think he did call her a bitch. Because he also showed his wedding ring in this as well. So, Kross hits the cross hammer, and then he does like a, I don't even know what you even call that. It was awesome. That was an awesome finish. I don't know what you would call it, but it was almost like, I want to say maybe a reverse pump handle slam into like a backbreaker or something. I don't fucking know, but that's how he won. So that was great. I love that. I really can dig Kross's new finisher. Hopefully he starts using that a lot more, because the cross jacket is a good finish. And then his signature move should be the cross hammer. That should be his signature. And then the actual finish should be what he did to AJ Styles. And then at times, just use the cross jacket. So, I like this. Again, I don't see where Mia Yim fits in with the OC. I just don't see it. And Mia Yim is okay, but I don't know where else you could put her at. I really don't. I mean, you could put her down in NXT, if we're being honest. That's honestly what I would do with Mia Yim. I would literally split her up from the OC and just put her down there in NXT. And let her have a good little run down there until you can really find her something to do. That's just me, though. Because Mia Yim has been a total bore since Triple H brought her back last year. She's not done jack shit. If we're being honest, she ain't done jack shit. Moving on. So, Paul Heyman returns backstage, and Roman asks what happened. So, Heyman just hesitates and stands there. He goes to speak, but Solo moves and terrifies the shit out of Paul Heyman, and he runs off. Solo asks Roman if he should go handle this. Reigns says take it easy. They've got plenty of time. And then Solo says, whatever you say, my tribal chief. All right. More tension within the bloodline. Moving on. Kayla Braxton is backstage with Cameron Grimes. She asked how he's been adjusting to Smackdown. Grimes says he's having so much fun. And then Baron Corbin attacks him and beats the shit out of him. So, that's fine there. I don't know what you do with Cameron Grimes going forward after he ends up feuding with Corbin. I don't know where you go with him. Maybe something with Grayson Waller. Maybe. I don't know. We got to do something. Next. Rey Mysterio. He's out next. He talks about how proud he is. No, let me start over. So, Rey talks about how he's proud of a lot from his career, but he's especially proud of how he brought back the LWO. He says the person he is about to introduce is the essence of the LWO and can be the next Money in the Bank, the next Mr. Money in the Bank. Out comes Santos Escobar. So, Santos talks about how timing is everything. He goes on about how hard work and what a chance Money in the Bank is. He thanks Rey for believing in him. Santos says he loves Rey, but then they embrace. Santos says Rey inspires him, and he fights for Rey, for his people, and his family, and for everyone in the WWE Universe who has a dream. Stop saying that shit. I hate it. Stop that. Come on, bruh. You in your late 30s. Stop channeling your inner Roxanne Perez, dog. I hate when they do this shit. I hate it. I hate hearing about dreams and stuff like that. Come on, man. You're a vet. Come on, Santos. So, out comes LA Knight, thankfully. He gets a little pop. He attacks Rey Mysterio. And then Santos and LA, they go and have a little brawl. This leads us into Santos Escobar versus LA Knight. Santos gets the win via a roll-up because he countered LA Knight's roll-up, who also had his hand on the ropes at the same time. So Santos countered that for the 1-2-3. Post-match, LA Knight attacks Santos Escobar, and then Rey Mysterio comes out and makes a save, and then LA Knight dips out. So, again, I don't know who's going to win Money in the Bank. It probably is going to be LA Knight, but again, Money in the Bank for the men is very, very mid. Next, Jey Uso's walking backstage. He sees Sami Zayn sitting on the side, and they just stare at each other, and that was it. And the fans chant Usi. Closing segment. This was absolutely tremendous. So Roman Reigns comes out. Roman does his usual acknowledge me shtick. Then out comes Jey Uso. Jay's fired up. So the Bloodline stares him down. So Roman says fans want answers. He asks Jay if he's in or out of the Bloodline. Jay says, let me tell you, it's either going to be Heyman or me. Then Jay drops the mic. Roman says when Jay is tribal chief, he can pick who he's going to be as his wise man. This is Roman's wise man and only, and his only. He's here to help him lead. Roman says he was only meant to get the bloodline to the promised land. Jay and the others are to keep them there. Roman says they've been grooming Jey for over 3 years now, putting him into position to be main event Jey Uso because Jey is meant to lead, just not yet. Roman says the problem isn't his wise man, it's Jey's brother. Roman knows they're inseparable, but Jey has to understand. So Jimmy comes down. Jimmy says the problem is not Jey, it's their cousin. So Jimmy enters the ring and says, let's get to it. Jimmy says Roman claimed he's grooming Jey for the top, but the reality is he's just using Jey. Jimmy asks if he believes this garbage coming out of Roman's mouth over me. Roman says fans weren't chanting this 10 years ago. It took 10 years to even get them on WrestleMania. Roman goes on and hypes Jey up and says he can't be a tribal chief and a twin at the same time. Roman gets Heyman to confirm that Jimmy was the only one who had issue with Jey becoming the right-hand man. Roman says it wasn't Heyman who had the issue because the idea was his. So this shocks Jey. He's like, what? How could you do this? And then Jey looks at his brother. Jimmy seems ashamed. Jey asks Jimmy if that's true. Jimmy says it is. So Jey's pissed. He's irate. He's pacing back and forth. Jey says, so this whole time, Jimmy's been doubting him. He expects that from Roman, but not Jimmy. Jey goes on and says they've been competing against Roman all this time, but really, he's just trying to keep up with Jimmy. Jey goes on about how he was always told to listen to Joshua going up. Mr. Prom King, Player of the Year, Mr. Most Likely to Succeed. Jey says it was a blessing in disguise when Jimmy got hurt because he stepped up and started main eventing shows. Jey says the fans know them now, and he's main event Jey Uso, and it's all because of Roman Reigns. Jey says, guess what? You're out. And then he steps to Jimmy and says, I'm out too. That shit was awesome, bro. And then Jey super kicks Roman for a massive pop. Boy, that place erupted. And I absolutely loved it. Loved it. Oh my God. So then the Usos, they super kick Solo. They do a double super kick to Solo again. The Usos stare down Heyman, but he dips out. Roman yells from his knees. Now he stands up. He goes to charge his cousins, but they double super kick him. And then the Usos, they stand tall together, and then Michael Cole declares that the bloodline is done as we know it. And Roman Reigns' empire is crumbling. And I mean, it was absolutely tremendous. Absolutely fucking tremendous. I love this. I've watched it back at least 2 to 3 times. At least twice. I watched it back twice. It was that damn good. That damn good. Absolutely tremendous. The crowd went ballistic. Man, this is tremendous. This is absolutely tremendous. I can't wait for Money in the Bank. I can't wait. The Usos versus Roman and Solo, sign me up. And then hopefully we can get Solo to join and turn on Roman. And then at SummerSlam we can get Roman versus Cody. And Cody's the one that ends up dethroning Roman at SummerSlam. Again, we now know that Roman has lost damn near everything. The next thing to go is Solo, and then the final thing to go will be the titles. And I do think that they are going to pull the trigger with Cody and Roman. They're going to have to rectify that wrong that they did at WrestleMania. There is no way that they can go into WrestleMania 40 with Roman and Cody. Unless they go in as Cody going in as champion and Roman going in as challenger. And that's probably how they'll go about that. But it cannot be the other way around. It's got to be Cody at SummerSlam. And with Michael Cole saying that the Bloodline's over, he's 1,000% correct. And I do agree. Again, I said it before. This story has transcended championships. This does not need a championship or championships hostage anymore. You can't do it now. It's over and done with. You can give us the downfall of the Bloodline without having the titles. Without Roman having the titles. It can happen. But man, this show was good. The Bloodline shit was amazing. Absolutely amazing. The matches were okay. The only decent match on the show was the gauntlet match. That was it. Everything else was just like 3 to 5 minutes. But what did you guys think? Let me know. Please hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
To the